Hey, how's it going? Thanks so much for downloading this guide. I just want to go over a couple things with you before we get started on all these exercises, and it's that the BPM that's printed in the guide itself is only a guideline. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to stop there or start there. If you feel comfortable with the pattern and you want to go faster with it, then by all means, I'd suggest you do so. However, if you find that you can't quite play up to that speed, then take it slow and play it concisely. Take it nice and slow and try and get it real tight with the click. And if you have any problems with that, just let me know. Additionally, I've provided timestamps down in the description below so you can just hop to the lesson you want to learn. While you're down in the description below, be sure to check out the link that says my new metal drumming course. It's going to be a wait list because the course isn't live yet, but I want to let you know that in this course it's going to be a deep dive on all the things we talk about today, and there's going to be a lot of things talked about when it comes to drumming technique and blast beats and fills and odd times and linear drumming, all that good stuff. We're going to go down that rabbit hole and more. So if you have any questions, just send me an email about any of this or leave a comment down in the video's comment section below. Let's get started. First, I'm going to play the pattern fast, and then I'm going to play it really slow so you can see what's going on. I'll have a camera down here on my feet and you can follow along. Fast and then slow. Let's go. One tip I want to provide you for the double bass lesson is that if you start with your hands and you lock your hands in, you play eighth notes on your right hand and then play the back beats of beats 2 and 4 on your snare, play that alone and then add your feet. Or if you feel uncomfortable doing that and adding your feet, try just starting with your feet and then adding your hands. When you're practicing the skank beat at slower tempos, or if you're trying to really ramp up the speed, then just remember to lock in your right foot with your right hand, and then your left hand's gonna follow. Ideally, that's what we need to happen. So when you start to speed it up to really fast speeds, you're gonna want the right foot to feel the downbeat, otherwise you're gonna lose your spot. So just remember, lock in that right hand and right foot, and then put the snare in between each note. The traditional blast can be really tricky, so my suggestion to you is to just start with your feet, play the alternating eighth notes, and then put the right hand, whether it's on the ride cymbal or on the hi-hat cymbal, in with the double pedal, because the snare is always on the upbeat and you're going to have a really difficult time trying to place that. Or another tip for you is to just play the alternating singles between your right and your left hand. Basically, it's just a single stroke, but on two surfaces. Remember to keep in mind when you're playing linear drumming that no two limbs are playing at the same time. So if your right hand or your right foot is interlocking together, try separating that. Try doing like a simple flam, kick, kick, and then making a pattern around that. It's up to you to decide whether or not you want to explore linear drumming some more. You can do some pretty cool stuff. I'd suggest looking into odd numbers when you do linear stuff because you can come up with some pretty cool feeling patterns. It's really going to leave your guitar player perplexed as to what to play along with your linear drumming. So try a number like 5 or try something like 7 instead of just doing like a standard 3 or a triplet. Let's face it, odd time signatures are really odd, so a thing to, like a workaround to help you with odd time signatures is to count out loud. And that's something my teachers always showed me, and that's something I'd like you to put into your practice routine. If you find that you're being challenged with a certain pattern, dissect it and figure out what's putting a roadblock in front of your playing and why it's leaving you in a rut. Counting has helped me immensely getting out of those ruts. So that's my suggestion to you in odd time playing. The hammer blast can really trip you up because when you start to go faster, your limbs are going to want to disconnect, or half of your body, like let's say your right side, is going to want to connect together, but the left side does not want to follow. So what you want to do is practice it slowly. It's very easy to say, oh, I practice it slow, but really dial it in and see if you're flamming any of your hits. And what I mean by that is if you're striking the surfaces at 2 different times. You really want your sticks to hit both surfaces at the same time. You want the hammer blast to sound, well, pretty much like a pneumatic hammer or a jackhammer, and that's what we're going after. So just really dig in and make sure that you're relaxed and that you're not really tightening up on your hands like this. You don't want to see that, right? If you want to start getting faster, we're going to have to go into some techniques that we don't really cover in this video. So keep it loose, keep it relaxed, and keep everything connected. Much like the traditional blast, the triplet blast has its own challenges. I find with the triplet blast though, that you can accent every first note of each triplet. So you go 1 ta-ta, 2 ta-ta, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. That will really help keep you in time and keep you in line to help you figure out where you're at in this drumming pattern. Because let's face it, if you're just going back and forth like this, it's hard to lock in and it's really difficult to have a sense of where you're at. Especially if you're jamming along with a guitar player or another musician and you throw in a triplet blast, it really confuses things, and you want to keep it simple, you want to keep it easy to understand. So try accenting the first note of each triplet. Sixteenth note fills are a staple in metal drumming, or just drumming in general, but what separates metal from the normal drumming 16th note fills is that you really want to speed things up. So my suggestion to you is, before you speed things up, just go back and forth between your snare and toms. The most difficult thing you're going to find, and it's still challenging for me, is that when you go from your snare drum up around your first two racks into your floor tom and return this way, it's much more challenging to go up from the floor tom than it is down from the rack toms. So my suggestion is to go up and around, play 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and then on the next measure, beat 1, go 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and you'll find yourself back at the snare. That's really going to help you with your fluidity and your control around the drum set. So try that, go up and back, basically like a yo-yo all around the world. Triplet fills can also be really challenging. Again, like the triplet blast beat, you don't want to get too focused on playing accented patterns all the time, because then it's going to be ingrained in your muscle memory. And then as you progress in your playing and you start to shift around accented notes, you're going to be really stuck because your body's used to playing and your mind's used to playing a certain way. So you can practice these triplet fills with the accents on the beginning of each triplet, but I want you to explore and experiment with your drumming as well. So just keep that in mind. I want to give you these tips here. Make sure to count out loud. Let's say you're doing a pattern in 6. Go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Or if you're doing a pattern in 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Count it out and make sure your separation is nice, because once you start to speed it up, that's when things start to get cluttered and you can really add some slop to your playing. You want these to be nice and smooth and concise in between a drum beat. So maybe try playing that with the drum beat as well. If you want to dive further and progress in your metal drumming journey, then I'm creating a course specifically on that, and I'm going to be covering everything that we went over in this video here, but in depth. So things that weren't covered in this video are like technique or different accent patterns, or what should I do if this happens in my playing, or how do I fix this, or how do I go faster or have more control and endurance in this. That's a lot of the things that we're going to cover in this course. If you'd like to sign up and you want to go down that path, then that's by all means, that's up to you. I've got the link down at the bottom of this video. If you want to check it out and go on the wait list, I'll let you know as soon as it becomes available. And just an FYI, it puts you on my email list. And weekly, a couple times weekly, I send out emails with free drum lessons and stuff that I do on my YouTube channel. So be sure to sign up for my email list and put yourself on the wait list if you want to get better at metal drumming. Thanks so much for downloading this again. I really hope it did bring a lot of value to you and that it helped push you in your drumming journey, in your metal drumming journey. So again, thank you so much. And my name's Cameron. Take care and go practice. Go practice. We all need to practice. So you go practice first. No, you first. All right, see ya.